Greetings, Earthlings. I felt like I owed you a video because I haven't done one in a while. I've been busy and don't really have much to show, but I have been working on this 6809 base system. It's the TACOBOT Arcade Game. And for this one, I decided I'm not going to try to breadboard it. I'm just going to go straight to PC board, which is living dangerously, but hey, that's the way I like it. I've decided to play with KiCad to lay it out, rather than I usually use Express PCB, just because I like the tool and it's easy to use and it's relatively affordable for small projects. But this one looks like it's going to be about a 5 by 8 inch circuit board. And, well, we can look here at the, and I don't know how this is going to show up on the screen, but PCBshopper.com gives price comparisons between various PCB vendors. And so for a 5 by 8 4-layer printed circuit board, we scroll way down here and we'll eventually find Express PCB, and that's $300.70 for one. Oh, plus shipping. $334. That's for one board. Because, I mean, the per board charge is not that great, but the setup fee is probably $250 of that, at least. So if you're ordering a bunch of boards, you know, that wouldn't be so bad. The per board price, and you'd eat up the setup fee. But way up at the top here is something called JLC PCB in China, and total, and there they have a minimum here of 5 boards. That's okay. I don't mind extras. And it's $56.61. Oh, plus shipping. Now, what are my shipping options? FX Express, never heard of that. Not going to touch it. DHL. Okay, this place where I'm at here is up on top of a mountain here in America, which you may call America. But in any case, DHL has never been able to find me. But UPS is pretty close to 100% reliable here. So UPS Worldwide Express they have as an option. And so for 5 boards, that would be $83.14. And I think I can live with that. And I'll probably, you know, when you go into this, you assume it's going to take 2 iterations to get it right. But potentially even more, which is why you usually breadboard it first. But hey, I'm not gonna worry about that. $83. Here's another one, all PCB, which would be $83 as well. DHL and Hong Kong Post. That's interesting. I don't know. Is Hong Kong Post, does that translate to U.S. Post Office here? So those would be roughly the same, except that's 32 days, because it comes on a slow boat from Hong Kong, I guess, as opposed to UPS up here, which was actually the fastest one, 8-day turnaround. Wow. Wow. Okay, so anyway, that's my justification for playing with KiCad, plus I wanted to play with it. And I'll say there are some things that I don't like about it. Overall, it's been a okay experience, I guess. First thing is this weird hierarchical structure that it has. And I call it weird just because I'm not used to it. Where basically you have to have a top page that contains all the other pages of your layout. Okay, and then I also have some other things here. So these are there's 5 pages of the schematic. And then this is just getting the power onto the board. These are the mounting holes for the PC board. And then I added a test point, a ground test point. Put those on the top page. Other than that, there are some other weird things some of the symbols, built-in symbols. Okay, 74, 73. This happens to be an HCT 73, but whatever. They separate out the power and ground pins into their own little box, which I find silly. They don't do that on the processors, but they do it on some things. Things which have multiple instances, you know, like inverters and an organ, 7400s, things like that. And so that gets annoying. So I've got this other little blob here instead of just having the power and ground off of there somewhere. Oh, pay no attention to that. This is so that was the processor there. And then I have some programmable logic, a GAL 16V8 for decoding. 6809 is memory mapped I/O, so basically you need some sort of decoder. I'm going to use programmable logic, which I would normally not do on a vintage project like this because you'd like to keep it vintage, you know, but I would have used, back in the old days, I would have used a PROM there. You know, you get a 256 by 8 one-time programmable PROM. Those are hard to find, so this will substitute for that just fine. We'll pretend it's a PROM. Ignoring this. This is the memory, EEPROM, RAM, and then there's a buffer out here. This is, again, if you've seen the previous videos, we're using these. It will use the cheap video cookbook techniques for driving the video display. And so there's what Don Lancaster, who's the author of that, calls an upstream tap, which goes out to the video from the RAM. I/O, you've got a parallel port and a timer chip here. There's another one of those funny blobs. And then a decoder here, so I've allowed for other potential things like a serial port and stuff, but it's not in this design. So we have some push buttons coming in, and the timers will generate the video sync signals. Sound chip 70 SN76489A. It's a classic old school sound chip. And then this is the video out. So I've got a character generator here, which I'm going to use a 2732A, 4K by 8 EEPROM as the character generator. And then this is basically a shift register, which shifts the bits out, and it gets converted to a composite video signal coming out here. Horizontal sync, vertical sync coming in here. And then I kind of did the PC board layout. So let's see, were there other things I didn't like? Probably, I can't think of them offhand. About the schematic layout package. Yeah, I'll probably think of them after I do the video. So then I started to lay out the board, and 5 by 8, and I thought I had it all laid out. And it's kind of ugly, but, you know, it fails to suck. I'm not the world's greatest PC board layout guy. This world, or on Mars, for that matter. But like I said, it failed to suck until I noticed, I was reviewing it, and I noticed that I had connected what should be the upstream tap to the inputs of the RAM instead of the outputs. So I'm having to go back and revise it. And in the process of revising it, I took there's a section here. This is the video section, and this is the I/O section, and I've swapped them because the video section really wants to be near the RAM. The RAM is here. There's that buffer that we saw, and so video section should be close to the RAM, and the I/O section doesn't really matter where it is. So I swapped those around. And I'm in the process of laying out the board. Now, there are, of course, things I don't like about the PC board layout program as well, but I'm learning to live with it. A nice thing, as we can see here, you can highlight the net. So you can see I need to connect that to there. Okay. So if we zoom in, and it zooms around where the cursor is, which is kind of annoying, but you kind of get used to it. Okay, let's take this across. We'll come out here. We'll go up there. Oops, I want to go there, and then we'll come across. Well, wait. Let me undo this because I want to show something I don't like about this. Okay, I'm going to go there, and then I'm just going to come up here. Okay. And it's showing us where we have to go, and so we'll come down here, we'll come down here, and we'll cross over there. Oh, no, we need to just come down to there, and boom. So that's good. That's done, right? Well, and I don't know, again, how well you can see this. Oh, there's something that bothers me. Those little arrows don't work. You have to drag it. This right here, rather than putting it in the middle, I can see this quite clearly. It just put it as close as possible to this. I'd rather it just split the difference if I'm going between pads like that and put it there. So now I have to go back and correct it, you know, and we'll delete that and just redraw that line. No. Okay, that's good. It likes that. Okay. And that left me a little extra little blob there that I have to get rid of. See? And you could say I'm using this wrong, or I don't know how to use it. I'm an idiot. And that's, you know, possible, quite likely. In fact, but this is the way that I'm currently using it. Now, I'm going to drag this out one more as well. I said drag it out one more and come up to here. So I have a little more gap in here. There's no reason that this has to run as close as it can to that. Oh, look, there's a leftover blob from something else. I don't know what that's from, but you get these just little tiny blobs from time to time. I think that comes from, well, I think at one time I had a via or via, depending on which part of the world you're from, there, and deleted it, and that seems to leave those little things. It's kind of annoying. Okay, but that wasn't too bad. Draw that over there. So I've got a bunch more to do, of course. Yeah, so I got to get from there over to there somehow, and there to there. That one shouldn't be too hard. From there to there. From there to there. And you might say, well, you know, there may be better ways to, oh, that's ground. Maybe better ways to do it. I couldn't get it to, when you first create the printed circuit board, it's supposed to have a mode where it sort of puts the chips in what it thinks is a most appropriate location, and I couldn't get that to work, so it's all hand placed. And again, when I swapped these, I already had the layouts done in these sections, and so I'm dealing with that here. You know, whereas had I started over from scratch, I might have been able to come out with maybe a little more efficient layout. But overall, it's not again, it's not horrible. I don't know. Yeah, those are the main ones I need to do. This is the processor chip here, and you'll see, well, there's some sneaky things. Those are the interrupt lines. Now, unfortunately, this is unfortunate. Oh, no, I'm sorry, no, that wasn't. I thought that was the clock line. Basically, you know, you try to keep the clock line. Oh, look, there's a hanging trace from left over from the previous layout. Oh, clarify. Okay. Oh, we'll clarify. Oh, see. Oh, see, there's one of those little dots. Because they're, yeah. Okay. Yeah. As I was saying, I got to get from there to there, there to there. So I've got a bit of work to do yet. Those are all done. And see, these are pretty neat. This is just connecting to the memory, so it's not horrible. It's not great. See this little zig here that has to go change layers. But see, this I like. There's a vertical on the top layer and then just straight across. I have a few of those. Oh, look, that goes over there. And so, oh, I gotta get, yeah. Anyway, that's my experience with KiCad, and hopefully I'll have something to show fairly soon. Well, let's see. No, it's gonna be several weeks before I can get this finished and get the boards ordered, and then I'll have something to show. I'll have boards, and you can see them not working. That'll be fun.